on Monday, July 13th, 2020. I'm now calling this meeting of the City Council of Paris to order. The invocation tonight will be given by Jean Anderson, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance led by Mayor Pro Tem Ms. Portugal. Everyone stand, please.
May we pray? Heavenly Father, we're indeed thankful for the opportunity to be here tonight, Father, and we pray for our city leaders, Father, as they conduct the city business tonight, that you would guide and direct them, Father, and all that they do and say would be pleasing in your sight. We pray, Father, that we'd live by the rule, that we would do unto others as we would have them do unto us, and that you would show us how to best do that. And Father, we just pray these things in the name of Jesus Christ with thanksgiving. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I'd like to insert just a moment of silence here for, I was informed that Mr. Brady Fisher had passed away, and I've known him a very, very long time. He served on numerous committees, and he's been very active in the city. So just a moment of silence. Okay, thank you. Next is Citizens Forum. Persons desiring to address the council must limit their presentation to no more than 2 minutes. Unless an item is posted on the agenda, the Texas Open Meetings Act prohibits the council from responding to any comments other than to refer the matter to a future agenda, to an existing policy, or to a staff person with specific factual information. Claims against the city, council members, or employees, as well as individual personal appeals, are not appropriate for Citizens Forum. And since we had to limit the number of people in here, I didn't want to keep anyone from speaking. So once all the chairs were filled, we've reached our maximum safe capacity under the COVID guidelines. But we will allow everyone in the room to speak, and then anyone who's outside that wishes to address the council will be permitted to come in one at a time and speak the 2 minutes, and then return back outside since we are full. But I don't want to deny anyone the opportunity to address the council. So the Citizens Forum is now open. If you wish to address the council, please step up, give us your name and address, and you'll have 2 minutes. I will hold everybody to 2 minutes because I think a lot of people are wanting to talk.
Ben's not working. My name is Linda Vandiver. I live at 540 Northeast 21st Street, and I'm here to address the issue of fireworks within the city limits. This past 4th of July has been the worst one for fireworks that I've seen in the 30 years that I've lived in Paris. The City of Paris Municipal Code, Section 5601-1.13 states, the possession, manufacture, storage, sale, handling, and use of fireworks are prohibited. The people near me weren't just using firecrackers, they were using bombs, and I call them bombs because they were as big and as loud as the ones at the Civic Center the night before for the fireworks show. On Thursday night, July the 2nd, I continued to hear loud fireworks until after 10 p.m. On Friday night, July the 4th, it was after midnight before they stopped, and on Saturday night, it was after 1 a.m. Friday and Saturday were the loudest ones. I have 2 dogs, one of which has always been afraid of fireworks, but even my 10-year-old dog was scared to go outside in the fenced yard this year. The 5-year-old dog, who weighs 45 pounds, spent the entire evening Saturday night in my lap barking and growling at the noise. I did finally contact the police about 9 p.m. Saturday and was told that an officer would be sent to the location. But by a little after 10, nothing had changed, so I called again, and this time I was asked if I wanted to make contact with an officer, and I said I did. And keep in mind, this was over a block away from my house. It's where this was coming from. 2 officers did come to my house, and I begged them to do something about the extremely loud fireworks I was hearing just off 20th, since even the possession of fireworks within the city limits is prohibited. I asked them to confiscate those remaining fireworks as allowed by the City Municipal Code, Section 5601.1.3.1, titled Seizure. The fire code official or his designee or any peace officer authorized to enforce the ordinances of the City of Paris may seize and destroy illegal fireworks prior to a court appearance, and a photograph of such seized and destroyed fireworks will be provided sufficient evidence of a violation in Section 3301.1.3 for the municipal court. Most of the loudest fireworks I heard were coming from the area of 1900 Booth. I drove by there Sunday afternoon. There was a lot of fireworks debris in a driveway on Booth Street. Some of it was quite large, at least 10 to 12 inches long. They were this long and at least this big around.
Your 2 minutes are up, and I'll let you a couple of concluding statements if you have them.
All right. It's not, I would ask the police chief, I would like to know how many citations were issued and how much fireworks were confiscated that night. I would say that in the city of Paris, I see people running red lights every day, and I know they can't get everybody the fireworks, but they can't stop everybody running red lights either. I've seen 2 today in the 2 times I've been out. So if they're not going to give tickets for them, are they going to stop giving tickets for people running red lights too, because they can't catch everyone? And several of us are pretty fed up about this.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you very much. Appreciate your comments.
I'm Carol Huffnagel, 720 Bunker Street. My husband and I are,
Could you please put
it
that down?
says not to touch it, but
Thank you, Carol.
my husband and I are both past 80. We have 5 children, and the youngest is 48, and he came home 2 weeks ago, and he disclosed something to us that we knew nothing about when he was in high school. It was not a very pleasant scene. My point is, we as parents sometimes don't know what our own children are doing. On the other part of my talk, we have been in business for over 50 years. We're both retired now. But during those 50 years plus, we hired lots of employees. If we as employers were given the responsibility or the accountability for what our employees did when they left our place of business that night and until they came back the next day, my husband and I would probably die in prison. But anyway, I want to thank the mayor and the council for your service to our community, and you, as well as our other leaders, are in my prayers.
Thank you. Next, please.
Hello, my name is Latra Lacey, and I'm a resident of Paris. I would like to speak in regards to the contract that the city holds with the Brashear Construction Company. If the city decides to keep this contract, it will give off the notion that city employees that commit assault against children will reap no consequences. An employee of Brashear's company, who is ultimately paid by our tax dollars, assaulted a child. And not only was he not arrested, he still retains that position. This is not normal. In any other county, if a citizen was in a company vehicle and assaulted a child, that person would either be fired or the city would end the contract. You have the obligation right now to hold Brashears accountable. You have to uphold your own policies. According to Section 2.02 of the City of Paris Personnel Policy and Procedure, all city employees are entitled to a workplace free of unlawful harassment by management, supervisors, coworkers, citizens, and vendors. City employees are also prohibited from discriminating against or harassing citizens, vendors, and any other third parties. Harassment of any nature, when based on race, color, religion, sex, age, national origin, disability, or any other characteristic protected by law, will not be tolerated. You cannot pick and choose who has to follow this and who is exempt. Brashears is saying by not firing this employee, they will not follow that policy. Therefore, Brashears must lose this contract. If this is not cancel culture, this is creating accountability for everyone. At the end of this night, that will fall into the hands of the city council, and history is watching you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Christine Gray, and I'm a resident at 2895 Walnut Street here in Paris, Texas. First of all, I'd like to thank all of the council members, especially our mayor. Thank you so much for everything that you do for our community and for being here for us countless hours and putting in the work behind the scenes that none of us get to see or, thank you for. So I want to thank you for that first. I also am here today to address the council about the contract between the City of Paris and Brashears Construction. We all know the man who got in the fist fight with the teen was in a truck with the name of the company who has a contract with the City of Paris. And a side note on this that I'm saying here comes from a collection of your constituents. It's a culmination of how several of us feel, but with the limited numbers available, they, asked me to speak on their behalf. So by extension, he at that time was a direct representative of a company who is funded by taxpayer dollars. No company with an affiliation to this city should have employees that get into fistfights and or hurl racial slurs at anyone, much less a 16-year-old child. For too long, there has been no accountability. There is nothing done with this specific issue within the city or to address the racial tension that is continuously escalating in our city. It has now reached a boiling point. I implore the council to please take action to help us de-escalate the racial tension in this town, to make it safe for all of us to live here, to raise our children here, and to invite others, recommend this place for others to move to live here as well. Right now, Paris has an excellent opportunity with a national stage with multiple eyes to make an impact, to tell and set an expectation of what behavior we expect versus what kind of behavior the city will continue to allow. We expect anyone representing the city or affiliated with the city, collecting a paycheck paid by all the residents of Paris, to treat all residents and with respect and human decency, especially the children in our community. I strongly encourage our city to dissolve or terminate this contract and let it be known that this type of behavior will not only be not allowed, but it will not be condoned, and it will not be allowed to continue here by any company associated or affiliated with the city of Paris. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name's Alexis Dudley Johnson. I'm a Paris resident at 1340 20th Northeast. So I just wanted to say that it's not okay for any adult to assault a minor, but to be an employee that's contracted by the city that myself and my loved ones, my children, my family, my friends, we all reside in, and for them to not have any consequences is absolutely unacceptable. At what point does Paris decide to move forward out of the 1960s mindset that it seems to be stuck in? It's time for accountability for any and everyone in the city of Paris, especially Brashears Construction. Thank you.
Thank you.
How's everybody doing? My name is Wesley Martin. I'm a Paris resident of 1035 22nd Northeast Street here in Paris. I'm speaking solely because I believe that this issue that's going on is kind of common sense. It's all about accountability in a relationship. Right now, the relationship is the city of Paris in a relationship with the black community. Now, there's other people that are affected, but solely that hits hard is the black community. You got to understand that we live here, we pay our taxes here, we have memories here just like anybody else. But the accountability portion is that if I was a teacher and I was to do something unethical of the school, one, the school will fire me, and two, they'll make sure that I will not be able to harm or put anybody else in those positions. The city of Paris, I believe in the city because I'm raised in the city, I'm from the city. All my money goes to the city. I even own a business at one point in time in the city. However, the accountability portion in this city is not real. There was a adult that fought a minor. No matter what color, this is not white or black, this is wrong or right. And the fact that they're not arrested, the fact that the Brashears company never made even an apology, shows that their mindset is not focused on the comfort of the people of the city of Paris and the black community. Now, I'm not going to put out a name, but you have people that sit on this board that wants to open up Pandora's box. And by all means, let's open it up. But the reality of it is if you open it up, truth will have to come out with that box as well. And the reality of it is that for years, over the last 100 years, the Chicago Tribune just made an article about this city to show how slow we are, because the whole world right now is moving toward equality. The whole world is moving right now toward fairness. However, we're still stuck, like someone said, in the 60s, because stuff like this is not being resolved in a timely manner. Now, I know that Mr. Tuller is a good man. I know that Mr. Hughes is a good man. I've heard a lot of things about you, Mr. Cliff. I heard nothing but good. I hope that you guys take this opportunity to really use your mindset and really think about what's going on, because you don't realize if this does not work out, if you do not mess this up, there will be other people that don't want to do this a civil way. There will be people that will continue to stand out and do rallies and do things that are against the connection with the city of Paris and Brashears company. And I just don't want it to get to that point. We've already had seven incidents in this city of racial tension. One at the Love Civic Center, one at the park, We've had them everywhere, and the point is we're in 2020. If you don't let this go, if you don't handle this the right way, this is the boiling point. I'm not saying I'm doing anything, but I can't stop 100 people. I can't stop 200 people,
You're 2
and you
minutes
can't,
up, but-
and you can't either, sir.
But I'll definitely let you can, if you have a concluding statement.
Yes,
please
sir.
go ahead.
All I ask is that you take the time to really look at the bigger picture. This is bigger than white and black. This is right or wrong. If a black man would have pulled a gun out or fought a white kid outside, their butt would be under the jail, if not dead. That's a reality. You know that's a reality because the city and the state of Texas don't play that. So let's keep that same energy toward to our white counterparts as well. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
My name is Kevin Heath, 1035 Paris, Texas. I'm here because I spoke to the young gentleman at the rally a few weeks ago, and if you heard the sound in his voice of being unprotected in Paris, Texas, the fact that he, as a minor, had to fill a grown man's shoes and defend himself, he was very timid about that. Now, I know those of you who have watched the video may have saw the aggression, but that young man told me he was terrified, and he did not know if he was going to walk away. And if Brashear's construction company did not take the proper disciplinary precautions to terminate an employee and they are contracted with the city, what type of representation is that showing Paris, Texas? We always have to remember that, and you have to make an example out of people you have contracts with, because if people like Brashear's company is above procedures and policies, what about future partners and people that you have contracts with? What are you saying to the youth who walk by construction sites and feel like their lives are in danger? What are you saying to those young people, that anything can happen to them, of people that are city employees and they're above the law or above termination of a contract? You have to set example. Grown men need to be held accountable. People keep trying to make it a equal party, but there was no equality in this situation when the man that the minor had fought is twice his age.
Yeah, and unarmed.
And unarmed. And people are trying to make this like it was fair sides when who brings a knife to a gunfight? Come on. Show your city that you will do the right thing and terminate this contract. Show this city that their tax dollars will be used and represented the right way. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I'm Chevisai, resident 2625 Hubbard Street. I'd just like to speak on the contract situation as well. As an adult, I know that anything I attach my name to, I become a representation of to which it's attached. I also understand as a business owner that any partnership or agreement I come into on behalf of my business, I am now also a representation of the businesses I have partnered with. Therefore, all of my actions must represent such. As a member of the NAACP, I'm a representation of that organization anytime I'm out and about. You all are representations of the city of Paris, even when you're not inside these walls. We must keep that same accountability for everyone. As it's already been mentioned, this is no longer just a city situation. The entire nation has eyes on this town of 28,000 people. The decision that you all make this evening will be the deciding factor on what the nation sees from this city. We ask that you terminate this contract and hold each other accountable. They must be held accountable for their actions. Take a look on the news. You see riots, you see looting, you see violence. All of that stems from people not being held accountable from their actions. Do not let that come to our city that we love so much. It is in your guys' hands only to take care of that situation to prevent this from happening. I pray that you all make the right choice and end this contract. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, please.
Hello, I'm Reginald Harris. I'm a Lamar resident. My comment is toward the B. Shires contract because I hate knowing my tax dollars are going towards a business that conducts itself in this manner. And I'm sure there's a clause within the contract that states that the B. Shires company has to adhere to and uphold to certain standards. While on the job in a company truck clearly labeled as so, their company terrorized, harassed, and violently attacked 2 minors, which there is clear evidence of. The Paris Police Department is currently dropping the ball, but that doesn't mean you have to. So hear me clearly, because this situation has really woken up a sleeping giant in our community, and the power of voting, the power of and importance of voting. This is an opportunity for the council members elected here today to do the right thing and make a stand with us together. But make no mistake in your decision later, because the only other way for us to go forward in ending this contract is a change in leadership. We would be forced to organize, remember names, and most certainly vote for council members that do support us. Right now is the perfect time to show everyone that you all side with us and the community. So right now you have the perfect opportunity by ending the B. Shires contract. So I ask of you, will you please end the B. Shires contract? Please. Please.
Thank you, sir. Next, please.
Hi, my name is Paisley Scroggin. I live on West Houston Street. So we would like to ask, the city would like to understand why no consequences or repercussions have taken place against the Brashears Construction Company. Last city council meeting, you voted in favor of entering into discussions with the Brashears to terminate the contract. Why has this not been accomplished, and why have we had no updates in regards to this? If it is because the contract does not have some type of misconduct clause or provision, why not? Why would our city and its attorney not write a contract providing for the safety of its minor citizens and other community members, or a provision to provide consequence in the event that this is breached? What will the city do next time a contract is written to ensure this predicament does not happen and does not take place? What actions will or have you done as a city council to prevent this from happening in the future? A company worker from a company hired by our city committed assault on a minor, and no repercussions have been given whatsoever. Is it the belief of our city council that these actions were justified and deserve no consequence, even though it broke the city policy of harassment? How will our city feel safe from the people you have hired if there are no consequences when they assault us or our children? If our city cannot ensure the people they hire will not conduct themselves in a violent manner, then how can we trust you and trust that you are doing your job as a city council? Our contract should protect us, not provide for the ability or the loophole for its people that it hires to be able to conduct violence against minors. So what has our city council done other than be silent and compliant and pacify? Show us you represent us, and you will serve accountability to those who break this idea of respecting our citizens, of not providing violence toward our citizens and our minors.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Daryl Franklin. I live at 617 East Main Street in Denison, Texas. I found this is to be that important that I drove an hour here. I have grandchildren that live here. I have nieces, nephews, and I used to live in Roxton. What is an ambassador? An ambassador is a person who acts as a representative or a promoter of a specified activity. What makes a good ambassador? He or she must love to interact with the public. He or she is outgoing, friendly, warm, and inviting. They must love to talk with people of all ages and backgrounds. The Brashears violated a whole lot of that. What was the love? What was the warm and inviting? What was all that, racial slurs, the fighting, pulling of weapons? I am terrified for my nephew. I am terrified for my grandchildren. I want them to be safe. I do not want to receive a phone call of that magnitude. This contract needs to be terminated, and the people need to be held responsible for the actions they put to not only to the children, but to this community. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Marcus Yates. I live at 932 Fitzhugh. I'll come to you with the 17th Street and Martin Luther King project. Carla Easton, she did call me this evening, which I've been talking to her about the project, but we have many members here that lives in that neighborhood is concerned about how soon might that project be completed. True enough, she said that the density test has failed, but I don't really know the procedure, but this job has been on hold from June the 17th, have not been anything else done on that street, and the community is concerned about how soon can y'all get something done. And not only that, for the Juneteenth parade, they tried saying that there was going to be a block party. I assured the inspector there was not going to be a block party, and he was saying that was keeping them from doing a density test. So I understand the density test has been done and it has failed. I'm just wondering how soon, because this is very much inconvenient for the whole Northeast neighborhood, that y'all can get on top of this job. Just like they pulled off of this job to go do another job, we as the residents of 17th and Martin Luther King would like to see them get back on top of it, because the street has been torn up since November. I can understand it's a timely process, but whatever y'all can do to speed the process up, we would, appreciate it, and we will continue coming asking to see, how soon. Which she said that they cannot get on it until August the 3rd, I believe. But if there's any way y'all can speed the process up, appreciate it very much.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, my name is Candace Snowden. I'm a resident at 7th and Garrett here in Paris, Texas, and I'm here in regards to the Shire contract. Just being a mother of 3 young black men, and I have to warn them, when they go out, keep your head down. Don't answer too many questions. Don't, just to instill that fear in them when we're supposed to be liberal and be free and be able to walk about in our city where I pay tax dollars and a lot of my family been born and raised here, we pay tax dollars. I don't feel that we should keep that contract. And as being a mother, if I was to discipline my kids for them doing the wrong thing and the law was to be called and they felt like I did it out of whack, I would go to jail for disciplining my kids. And those are kids that I had and I raised. But here, watching that video, I saw a young man that was minding his own business get attacked by an adult that he was not disciplining him, he was not saying anything, and then to be held at gunpoint, and he was a felon. I have an idea, I have people in my family that if they were to get caught with a gun and was a felon, there would be no issue of whether or not they were going to jail, period. So I feel that you guys should hold yourselves accountable and remove this contract from our city, because it's not right. It is not right, and I just feel like there's a lot of injustice with that whole issue right there. And I just feel like if I, as a parent, can go to jail for disciplining my child, a complete stranger should go to jail if they're harming someone else's child and they had no right to.
Hello, my name is Belinda Harrison, and I'm going to speak on the Brashear's contract. It's bridging the gap. AR-15, accountability. AR-15, he was in the company's truck, Caleb Brashear. He exited the vehicle by choice. He repeatedly beat a minor in the head in a company truck. We need to show an example. We want to bridge the gap, not make the gap bigger. Accountability. Show the community that we are preparing for the future generation, and that it is okay for our youth, our kids, to be able to walk without fear. Accountability, bridging the gap. Why should we keep a contract with our taxpayers' dollars? So is it okay just to be able to drive around in a company truck and exit your vehicle and do what you like to a minor in a company truck? No. Accountability, bridging the gap with our community. We as Paris, Texas citizens must hold the Brashear's company accountable for the actions that they have taken place in our community in a company's truck. Thank you.
Thank you.
I would just like to put one question before the council.
Can we have your
that I
name,
hope.
name and address,
Oh,
please?
I'm sorry. Sarah Alexander, and I live on North Main Street.
Thank you.
My question is, if an adult member of your family committed a crime, should that person be punished, or should the whole family go to jail? I think that's very similar to what we're looking at here. Yeah, there is a person out there who needs to be punished, who needs to be disciplined in some way, but I don't think you can hold the whole company responsible. Thanks.
Thank you.
My name is Tamisha Finney. I live at 503 Pecan Street, and I live in Honey Grove, Texas. I don't live in Paris, but we come to Paris to do a lot of our business. I have a lot of family that lives in Paris. I'm here in support of the termination of the Bashir's contract because I just listen to everybody else's testimony or whatever, and I'm not an attorney, but I just know if anybody that's family or friends with the Bashirs on this board or whatever, your vote should be excluded. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Angelica. I live on Cherry Street. My whole thing with the issue is, just like she came up here and say, it may not be right to hold the whole company accountable, but since the one or two people didn't get held accountable, I mean, what are we to do? Are we to continue to sit here and just let that go by? We have a voice too, and we should be able to be heard. And it just don't make sense that somebody on the company is able to do something like that and get away with it. And I feel like it's not right. I feel like it's a matter of right or wrong, not black or white. It's right or wrong. It's just wrong. If it had been somebody else, African, Chinese, whatever, my whole thing is, it just wouldn't be right. It don't matter the color of your skin. It's right or wrong. And if these people don't get indicted on charges that they did to another person, why would you want someone like that in your company? Why would somebody want to let somebody in the company like that? It just don't make no sense to me. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Brenda Cherry. I live at 1442 Fitzhugh. And yes, a company is responsible for what its employees do in a company truck. Yeah. Just like a police officer, the police department is responsible. A school teacher, the school is responsible for their actions. That's just the way it is. It's 2020, and the city of Paris is trying to figure out whether or not they should continue to do business with a company whose employees, while using a company truck, attack two kids. While committing an assault on the kids, the employees call them niggers. And I'm not gonna say the N word, they call them niggers. And that word, it cuts deep. You know, it's painful. It's a Jim Crow kind of thing. I went through this type of thing during Jim Crow. When I was a kid and I walked down the street, I was called nigger all the time. It's painful. It's confusing. You don't understand that when you're a kid. It's hateful. But the city of Paris is pondering whether they should continue doing business with Bashir's. Bashir's Construction, as far as I know, has not denounced the actions of their employees. They have not given a public statement saying they will not tolerate the actions. They have not offered an apology to the kids. Wow. But the city of Paris is wondering if they should still do business with the company. This is shameful. There is no explanations or excuses for this. There should be no question. When you make your decisions, every single one of you should vote the way you would vote if it was your kid, if it was your grandkid. What would you do? You would not tolerate it, and this should not be tolerated today. It's 2020. It's time for this stuff to end.
Thank you. Yeah.
I am Ruby Bell. I am a child of the Most High God, and his name is Jehovah Shalom, which means God of peace. 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 There was no peace there. I read Proverbs and I suggested everybody in this room read a chapter out of Proverbs every day. Every day. There's 31 days in the month. Every day a chapter out of Proverbs. You'll understand right and wrong because God is all about righteousness. God is all about fairness. God is all about peace. God is all about love. Love. Ecclesiastes chapter 12 tells me it is the duty, the whole duty of mankind to fear God and keep his commandments. Jesus Christ in Matthew tells us that his commandments are not grievous. Love God with all your mind, heart, mind, body, and soul and spirit, and love your neighbor as you love yourself. Who is your neighbor? I'm your neighbor. She's your neighbor. He's your neighbor. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Love. There was no love there. It tells me that the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom and understanding in Proverbs. Wisdom is to shun evil, run away from evil. Don't have no part to do with it. Don't have nothing to do with it. Understanding is to know the one and only true living God, and one of his names is Jehovah Shalom, which is God of peace. There was no peace there that day. Like that lady said, there's only right and wrong. There's no difference. He said, love you one another. He meant that. When Jesus come back and you standing before Jesus, he gonna say, all I asked you to do was love one another. That's all I asked you to do, to love one another. That was not love. That was not love that day, and that is wrong. And if you vote to stand up for wrong, you as wrong as they are. And you gonna stand before God, you just like they are. And this don't matter because this is all temporary anyway. This is all temporary anyway. But you can't right a wrong. You cannot. You have to love God and you have to love your neighbor. Love is respect. Respect. Love is kindness. Love is caring. None of that was there that day.
Ma'am, your 2 minutes are up, but I'll let you have some more concluding remarks. I'll give you a few more seconds.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You have no excuse for not loving each other. I'm telling you this from the heart. You have no excuse for not loving each other and making the right decision. Because Romans 5:5 says that God shed his love abroad in our hearts. God, the love is here. You got to know that it's here. We have to love each other, y'all. We can't keep doing wrong. And we are sitting on a powder keg, and there's no reason for nobody else to get hurt. No reason. No reason. But if you make the wrong moves because they made the wrong moves just because they got favor with somebody, we sitting on a powder keg, y'all. Don't do that. Do not do that. The city of Paris, we deserve respect just like everybody else do. We deserve to be cared for. We are human. We are children of the Most High God. I kid you not. I was born a child of God, and I'm going to die a child of God. And I just had to say, God bless everyone here.
Thank you, ma'am.
Really,
Appreciate it.
God loves everybody.
How y'all doing this evening? My name is Shanita Cleveland. I come from Dallas County, USA. And I'm here because I've heard a cry as far as Dallas County. I'm not for sure what cry you've heard, but you know, I'm a witness to the video and I saw a picture. It doesn't take a rocket scientist. I don't know what you're pondering, but it's clear that yes, businesses should be held at a higher accountability, just like the city council. You're here to protect and to serve the people, just like the police, just like Brashears Construction. Because I don't know any construction company anywhere that could get away with this and to not to not do anything to the employee is it's kind of perplexing. It's weird. Because what is right is immediately to let them go. To let them go, especially in the company car, because they're still representing the company that represents the city, that represents the people. And right now, you're not representing the people thinking about anything, okay? Because there's definitely some injustice that has been done in Paris, Texas, and it seems like there's a history of it, and that people lack some empathy around town. And if it was your son or your daughter, I guarantee if it was a black man that did to your son or your daughter what happened to those two black teens, they would be somewhere else, okay, not on the street, walking around freely going to work. That is not what they would be doing right now. And we have to tell the truth. And I know you should really be talking to your council members to get some level of empathy from your perspective, unless you're no different, okay, unless everybody's on the same page and nothing's going to happen again. But as far as Dallas County, and we got somebody over there where we got thousands of eyes on you. So we're here, and we want to see what you're going to do, and that lets us know what we need to do. I hope you do the right thing.
So I'm from Lamar County. My name is Kelly Malacote, and I'm a Lamar County resident. I'm a community volunteer and a local business owner here in Paris. I grew up here in Paris, and I own several businesses here in Paris. Some are in manufacturing, where we provide primary jobs, and some are in retail, where we generate sales tax revenue for the city of Paris, which is reinvested in our community. I have previously been involved with various boards, both locally and at the national level. And over the past 10 to 15 years, I have taken a very active role in our local government. You've probably seen me at the back at city council meetings or at PEDC meetings. Some of you know me, some of you don't. I'm here today to speak out and stand up for a fellow business owner in my community. As a business owner, I recognize that my employees can be under my authority while we are at work and on my clock. However, what they do on their own time, after hours, away from my facility or job site, is not my responsibility. I cannot control what they say or how they act or what they do or where they go when they are off duty. Furthermore, I should not be held responsible for their actions. I am speaking today in support of keeping the Beshears contract with the City of Paris. While I do not personally condone the actions or support what transpired in the recent events, again, I do not personally condone or support what happened. But I do recognize that some kind of action needs to take place to rectify the situation. People need to be held accountable for their actions. But there are multiple parties in the situation who were wrong. Multiple people who were wrong. But city government here is not the place for that. Your role as council members is to govern the city as it relates to budgets, infrastructure, tax dollars, city services, and city employees. There's a difference between a W-2 city employee and a 1099 contractor, and your city handbook does not govern the actions of contractors. I urge you to consider keeping the Beshears contract, as I see nothing in your current written policy. There's nothing in writing that warrants the termination of their contract. What happened?
Your 10 minutes are up, but again, I'll let you have concluding statements for a few more seconds.
What happened is not the business owner's fault, and their employees should not suffer the consequences of a lost contract due to one particular employee's actions after hours. If you terminate the contract, you are opening up the city to a major lawsuit, added spending on litigation, and you are also ending your approach as a business-friendly community. What's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong, and I would urge you to take an unbiased and objective approach to today's decision.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lene Hernandez. I live in the city of Paris. Just in response to that, if an employee is driving in my company's truck, he's representing me. So this employee was representing the business owner when he did what he did. But that's not what I came here to say. What I came here to say is that Paris has a long, ugly history of racial injustice. I'm not from here, but I'm learning a lot about it. And it is time for the African American community members to feel the full force of the city and the entire community behind them and lifting them up. By doing business with contractors who abuse and threaten our brethren while spouting racial hatred, we are once again showing that they don't have a place in Paris, Texas. And we're better than this. Thank you.
I'd like to say good evening to the panel. I'm Pastor Charles Dixon. I don't pastor here in Paris, but down in Clarksville. And I moved from Fort Worth, Texas in '04, hoping that I would escape all the, I guess, just race wars and everything seemed like to me, and it was always trouble, looked like, every time I turn around. I thought I was moving to a community that was just, fair, and quiet. I've been here 16 years. I've seen 6 black men murdered here. Yes. And I couldn't believe, and never have I seen anything or no justice for neither one of them. I was told from a friend that works up downtown here that he wanted to know whether there ever going to be anything done for those 6 young men, black males, that lost their lives. And whoever said whatever they said, well, we ain't doing nothing. We're not going to raise a finger to do anything. And I thought to myself, that is so appalling. What kind of place is this? Yeah, I wonder about it now. Then this other incident 2 Sundays ago, or 3 maybe, I said, wow, what is going on today? Even in little old Paris, Texas, I've heard of a story of a Herman and Irving Arthur who were burned at the stake here in Paris, Texas. And I said, my God in heaven, where have I moved to? Another thing, I got biracial children, grandchildren, rather, and guess what? I don't want them ever come here, even just to visit for a few minutes, because I don't know what could happen to them. But my other thing I want to talk about, I live at 919 Fitzhugh Avenue, and I had some plumbing problems a few years ago, I bet 8 years ago, and had pipes replaced, tore up my sidewalk, and they told me they were going to come back and fix my sidewalk. They haven't got fixed yet. 8 years later, they still the same way. And I said, Lord have mercy, who do I need to talk to about that here?
You can talk to me, sir.
You? Okay. Grace and Pat. God bless you then. But let me tell you something. God bless you, but listen.
2 minutes are up, but again, I'll let you continue for a few more seconds to conclude,
okay,
sir.
man. But I hope and pray that folks start getting along right here in Paris, Texas. Black, white, Mexican, whatever they're, Indian, Asian, it don't make no difference. It's sad to see what goes on in 2020. Amen. And I'm so glad that I got a chance to speak. God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
My name is Gary Harris, and I live in George Wright Homes. I was just noticing when y'all prayed a while ago, and then y'all said to pledge allegiance to the flag, where's the justice? Justice for all or justice for certain ones? Because that's what it looked like to me. See, I've been down that road caught up in the justice system. And if that would have been me, did that to them kids, for every bullet, that's 25 years in the federal penitentiary. That guy that was ex-con, he ain't even supposed to have a bullet. No longer a gun. He wasn't even supposed to make no bond. I can't make a bond if I get caught with a bullet. How did he make that bond? Ex-con. Is he behind on the parole fees? Who made that bond for? The concrete company.
Thanks, sir. Has everyone in the room that wanted to speak spoken? And if so, if there is anyone outside, has everyone outside spoken too? Okay, so anyone else wishing to address the council? Seeing none, I will close the citizens forum. Next is the consent agenda. Anyone on the council have anything on the consent agenda that he or she wishes to pull for additional discussion?
Make a motion, we approve the consent agenda.
Okay, motion.
Second.
And a second. All in favor? All right. All right, and we're going into executive early tonight. Item number 10, convene into executive session pursuant to section 551.071 of the Texas Government Code. Consultation with attorney to receive legal advice from the city attorney about 1, pending or contemplated litigation, and or 2, on matters in which the duty of an attorney to her client under the Texas Disciplinary Rules of Professional Conduct of the State Bar of Texas clearly conflict with this chapter regarding Bashir's construction. It is now 6:20 and we're going into executive session. Okay, it is now 7:24. We are out of executive session. After further consultation with the city attorney regarding the city's legal position with respect to the bid awarded to Bashir's Construction on April 13th, 2020 for curb/gutter, driveway approaches, and reinforced concrete sidewalk, the consensus of the council is to direct staff to undertake no further third-party projects for curb/gutter, driveway approaches, and/or reinforced concrete sidewalks from this date through March 31st, 2021. Okay, next item is item number 12. Discuss and possibly approve hiring of Aaron Barbie Lewis as a contract prosecutor for the municipal court. Stephanie, your mic's not on.
Now can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. As I think I informed you all, I lost my contract prosecutor, Chris Fitzgerald, back at the end of June, and that's something I've got to have. So I have made arrangements with Aaron Barbie Lewis, who's here this evening in the back, to take over those duties. She actually, even though she hadn't been hired yet, came with me to the municipal court today to do a docket with me so that she could see how things worked. And I would ask you very, very nicely to please allow me to hire Aaron as my contract prosecutor.
Well, I'll say I've known her since she was about that tall, and nothing but good things to say about her.
Well, and here's what's really brutal, is I'm trying to hire a lawyer that once babysat my children.
Okay. Okay, any discussion on the council, anything on this? All right. Do we need a motion on this, Stephanie?
Yes, please.
I make a motion to hire Aaron Barbie Lewis as contract prosecutor for the municipal court.
Second.
All in favor? Congratulations, Ms. I can't call you Ms. Barbie, but Aaron, I'll call you that. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Item number 13, discuss and act on the fiscal year 2020-2021 annual program of work and budgets for Love Civic Center and the Visitors and Convention Council. Paul, what you got for us?
First of all, thank you, Mayor, Council. I will say that I am very thrilled with the partnership that the Chamber and the Civic Center and the VCC has with the city. I've enjoyed working with Mr. Path since he has gotten here. He has been very knowledgeable in things that I have asked for advice, and so I thank you for that partnership. COVID has taken a toll on everyone, and In March, when all of this began to happen, we cut our budgets. We looked at cutting our budgets at least 30%, not knowing what COVID was going to do. In saying that, the impact that it had did not affect our budgets that much. With that being said, we have lost 9 or 10 events that we had already booked for this time period. Of course, you know that ASA was canceled, and it has a major impact to Lamar County. We do have them booked again for next year. But still losing 8 or 9 events, we're still okay. We have 4 events planned for September that we think will help us rebound from COVID. Whether that happens or not, I'm not completely sure. We'll just have to wait and see. But I would like to start with our VCC budget, and I would like to start with our line item number 10. I'm not going to go line item by line item unless you need me to, or you can ask me questions about specific things. But our motel hot tax, we are going to budget $650,000 for our next fiscal year. That is the same amount as we had budgeted for this year, and we had always been kind of conservative on how we budgeted that. As you can see throughout the years, we've always met the budget and even extended that. But due to COVID, we are going to be cutting it close to reach that. So leaving it at $650,000, we think that is going to be conservative again for next year. We have added a couple of new items in our income. Last year, the City Council approved a $50,000 special events, I guess you would say, amount for us to use in case we found that home run event. We did not touch that. You know, we thought we were going to try to find an indoor archery tournament. We thought we were going to get Red Bull here. Of course, the pump track wasn't ready. We did actually have an indoor archery tournament that was very, very successful. They will be here again in January, and the result of that event, I think we made $119 for a 3-day event. So we're very excited to have another archery event that was very successful. We also have the Texas Mountain Bike Racing Association that has committed to come to Paris. That is going to take place this September. So we are trying to put things together to help with that event. So we've added some income with our Timbra of $7,000, and we have the indoor ASA at $2,000. The Tour de Paris income we have left at $49,000. We have rescheduled that for September, along with the other events that we have, and fingers crossed things will work out, and that will be able to take place. So we have a total amount of income for the VCC at $722,000 for the fiscal year. In our expenses, they come down to the motel tax transferred out. We're going to transfer $325,000 to the Love Civic Center. That's half of the budget. We've had some increases in our communications. We have had, our marketing and advertising. That was one of the crucial things that we looked at the very beginning of March, because we're supposed to spend 10% of that hot tax for our marketing, and we, at this point in time, we still have about $25,000 to $30,000 that we are going to spend this fiscal year. So we're going to be very close in reaching that goal. We still have ideas and still working on things to really promote the pump track, promote Paris as a wedding destination place with all of our new venues. So a lot of those things are going to be happening. We did cut down a little bit on our Tour de Paris expense because we are not going to have to pay for as many rooms as we have in the past, so there's a little difference there. We left ASA the same, even though we had, the last time we had it, we did have to spend some more. When they came in, they wanted some gravel poured, and Had some gravel placed around the Civic Center for their trailers, so that's why we were over on that. Of course, thank you, we were still allowed to have our boat races, and they're scheduled to come back again next year. We also have the indoor archery. We have an expense of $2,000 in Timbra. We have as $5,500. Our events funding, you notice that we have talked about, or we are mentioning that we're going to increase that by $5,000. And you look at that, we take into consideration that 8 or 9 of those events did not take place, and so we still have that money. Some of that money will be used in September for the events that we have. But I wanted to increase the funding because of the pump track. What we are going to do, separate from the Red Bull Qualifier Championship, there are pump tracks in Oklahoma City, there are 2 in Arkansas, and what we want to do is reach out and we want to host events that are going to come here and put heads in beds in Paris and have different events in Paris utilizing the pump track, and so that's where we're looking for that extra funding for that, because that will be totally new. Our trolley, I will say that our trolley still has had to have some work on it. It seems like that is a regular thing, especially when we need it. But what we are going to start doing is marketing. We're going to start marketing the trolley a little differently than we have, along with the wedding packages and things that we're going to be promoting in Paris to get people here to spend the night. So our total expense is $721,930, which leaves us in the good of $69.14. What I would ask again of the city, if we could also approve $50,000 out of our reserves if we are able to hit those home run events such as Red Bull, the national qualifier, which we will talk about a little bit later, and any other event like we've talked about in the past where we don't have funding for that event, but we land it and we get it. The trail racing across Texas, which is supposed to take place in September, which is a question mark at this point in time, is going to bring in 500 to 800 runners. And so that's going to be a thing that is going to be annual. We hadn't planned for that, so I would like to ask for an approval for that $50,000 in case we need it, just like we had last year, but of course we didn't need it this year. I will entertain any questions about the VCC if I can. I have my staff here to help me if needed.
You don't have any questions? Anything? Well, I think you've done a pretty good job.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
Would you like for me to do the Civic Center?
Yeah, go ahead, Civic
so
Center.
you
Are we
do both
voting
of
on
them
these
together?
in conjunction, or is it independent? Same item, okay.
Okay, on the Civic Center, we start with the first line item where the $325,000 is transferred in. Of course, with the absence of ASA, we have taken a major hit on our RV hookups. Our bicycle rentals are, in my opinion, taking a hit, which we're going to talk about that in just a few minutes too. Right now, our income on our bicycles, out of 20 bicycles, we have 2 that are functional. And those bicycles, I believe, I'm guessing, and y'all may know before, is it 10 years? How long have we had them? No. Not that long? Okay. Ever how long we've had them, we bought 20 bicycles, the money was raised, and right now we have 2 that we can put out for people to rent. And to change that, we're going to have to spend money to fix them. They look absolutely horrible because of weather and because, as a matter of fact, I heard today that possibly 2 of them were rented and they took them to the pump track and rode on the pump track and brought them back and the tires were shot. So I've got a plan for that too. So the rent, we've dropped that down about $5,000 just because of the unknown. I still think that's being very conservative. So we have a total income for the Civic Center of $422,600. On the expense side, I will say this, our payroll is going to stay the same. We're not asking for any increase in anyone in any three of our entities. We're not asking for that. Marketing and advertising, we've got a plan to start utilizing that a lot better than we have in the past. That's no one's fault but mine. The building maintenance and supplies, that may be a concern. It's a concern of mine, but the building not being in use and with the possibilities of what's going to take place when we start future taking care of all the things that are going to take place at the Civic Center. A lot of those things have been held off because they're going to be replaced, they're going to be changed. Our security is going to go up because of the number of events that are being held out there that include alcohol, and so we have to pay a little bit more for that. So our total expense is $337,900, and so that leaves us in the good of $84,700. What we would like to propose is what we did last year, is we would like to take $50,000 of that and put it into capital improvements. Not knowing exactly where we're going to be when we get started on the renovations again at the Civic Center, I think that we need to continue to have money in that account or in that fund to be able to help restore and do the things at the Civic Center that we need to do. What I would also like to do, that leaves us a balance of $35,050. And I have mentioned this to Ms. Harris, and I've mentioned it to Mr. Path. What we would like to do is go into a partnership with one of our local bike shops that has approached us. One of the main issues that we have with the bikes at the Civic Center is they are controlled by locks that you have to get to those bikes by using an app on your phone. And you know as well as I do, technology is so complicated, and we're constantly getting emails, or Randy's constantly getting emails with the problem of the locks. So that is an issue. We have researched and looked into how we can replace all of those bikes, and we're looking at anywhere from $40,000 to $80,000 just to replace 10 of them, not 20. So what we would like to do is go into a partnership with one of our local bike shops and create an extension of the Civic Center and have rental bikes at the pump track and at the entrance of the trail. And we will actually man those rentals. There will be a place where bikes can be stored. There will be somebody there to rent the bikes out. When a bike is brought back, that person from the bike shop will be able to examine the bike. They will be able to look at the bike. They will be able to get the bike into the shop if it needs to be repaired, and they will be put up every night. There are still logistics that have to be made or talked about. There are still things that have to be discussed on putting this on city property, but when someone walks up, they can rent a bike that goes on the pump track, or they can rent a bike that goes on the trail. But manually renting those bikes out and manually taking those bikes back in, I think is going to be it's going to be beneficial to us, and it's not going to be anywhere near the $40,000 to $80,000 that we would have to spend if we replace the bikes that are out there now. So I would like, if you approve this budget, I would like to go into further discussion with the local bike shop, along with Mr. Path and Ms. Harris, working out the details on how that would work that would be beneficial to all and benefit the city. I will entertain any questions.
Any questions?
Do you have any questions on our program of work?
And the Red Bull Championship would be on the pump track. It's a bicycle event, correct?
That's correct.
Oh, cool.
Is that completed or very near?
Okay, the pump track right now, the asphalt is completed, and so you can see kids riding and you can see people on that pump track every day already. The next step, Velo Solutions still has to paint their red stripe around to make it official for Velo Solutions and Red Bull. The next step will be to put the artificial turf that's on the dirt area. After that, the shade will be coming in about the same time probably, and then benches and hopefully a bicycle rental place. So people will have that. Ma'am? And the donor wall. There's a donor wall that's going to be built and put up there.
Is this something that you have access to 24 hours a day?
24/7. It's wide open for anybody to use. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Any other questions or discussion? All right. Well, we need a motion on this.
I move to accept the budget of the Chamber and the Love Civic Center, Visitors and Bureau.
I'll second. Those in favor? Anyone opposed? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Allen. Appreciate it. Item number 14, discuss and possibly act to join with the Lamar County Chamber of Commerce and the Paris Visitors and Convention Center in their pursuit to obtain the Red Bull Championship qualifier for 2021 by submitting a letter of support signed by all sitting council members.
Okay, I have the application. Just this is the only thing that I lack. I would love to have a letter from the city supporting our Red Bull National Qualifier application. We found out very quickly we're not ready to host the World Championships because we cannot house and have spectators for 7,000 to 10,000 people around that pump track. But we will be ready to host a national qualifier. You're looking at probably 500 to 700 spectators coming and probably 140 bikers that will be coming all over to try and qualify. What we are wanting to do is put on such a great event at the national qualifier is the Red Bull and Velo Solutions will eventually help us with the national qualifier, or excuse me, the World Championships, hopefully in the future. And so that is what our plan. And so I would just like a letter in support of this coming in 2021.
So you're asking for our support just to sign a letter saying we're behind you.
Yes,
Sounds
sir.
good to me. We need to act on that, or?
It's an action item.
Okay.
I'll make a motion for us to sign the letter. Let's get the Red Bull here.
Yeah.
Second.
All in favor? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Item number 15, discuss and act on a resolution terminating the cable tower lease with Suddenlink/Altus on property owned by the city to be conveyed to American Spiral Weld as part of the 2018 Master Economic Development Agreement. Ms. Harris, you want to explain this to us?
I do. Is this working now? Yes, it's working.
Yes, ma'am.
How wonderful. You may recall that back in 2018, as part of our master agreement with American Spiral Weld, the city put in approximately 9.1 acre tract, used to be the Legion Airport properties. That was subject to a lease. I call it the Suddenlink lease because Suddenlink had a tower there. Back when that lease was entered into, back in 2005, it was Cox Communications, and then it was Seabridge. It just changed hands several times. But now it's Suddenlink and their parent company, Altice. There are 2 more 5-year terms available under that lease that are our sole option. Suddenlink and Altice don't want to be on that property anymore. They've already removed the cell tower, the television tower, and did that several months ago, I think, maybe as many as a couple of years ago. They are not interested in renegotiating any kind of specific access because this lease is on the entire tract. And in order to allow Spiral Weld to fully use that tract, we really need to terminate that lease. Altice is expecting that we do that, and Spiral Weld is expecting that we do that. That runs around $7,800 a year in lease rentals, but if you'll recall, we have a tax abatement agreement for 7 years with Spiral Weld. So before that 10 years is over, where we would be losing rentals, we're going to start getting tax revenues off of that property once it's conveyed to Spiral Weld. And by the 8th year, we'll be getting 100% tax revenues off that property, so those rentals are offset. So my recommendation is that you approve a resolution terminating that cell tower lease with Suddenlink and Altice.
Okay, any questions or discussion on this? All right. I'll make a motion that we authorize the termination of the amended lease agreement with Suddenlink Altus regarding the 9.1 acre tract formerly known as the Legion Airport properties. All in favor? Okay, thank you. Item number 16, discuss and act on a resolution forgiving civil penalties in the amount of $116,000 assessed and accruing on the property located at 425 19th Northwest and 2045 Plum Street.
This is another one of these that we've had a few of them come up recently. This particular property, it had changed hands a few years ago without this order being caught somehow. And there was some confusion, I think, between the title company and in the city on whether or not that existed. There's never been a demolition order, a demolition lien on it, because what happened is the order for demolition was placed. The property was not demolished within the 30 days, but it was within 100 days of that. And they did that at their own expense. So there was no demolition lien on that property. Since that time, as I say, it sold to David and Deneen Whitaker. Both of those are city employees, but they have a business where they buy lots, primarily, if not exclusively, in West Paris, and build very nice, affordable homes on them and then sell them. They've actually already built this home and are in the process of selling it when this came up again. So, there's a public purpose in forgiving these civil penalties in that they are improving these neighborhoods. They're improving this particular property. Its taxable value has gone up, and it's improved the neighborhood. So I would recommend that you approve a resolution for giving the civil penalties of $116,000 plus interest on the property located at City Block 242, Lot 6B and 6C, otherwise known as 425 19th Northwest and 2045 Plum Street.
All right, thank you. Any questions or discussion? All right.
I would add, too, that we didn't put this on this agenda because this is something that Ms. Knox is interested in, but I want to come to you at the next meeting or the meeting after that to discuss a plan moving forward. We're working on gathering properties that would be appropriate for this kind of forgiveness, and I want to get your direction on how to go forward on that.
All right, anything from the council on this? Any questions? Then I'll entertain a motion on this one.
Second.
Okay, I'll make the motion then.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, with motion and a second, all in favor? Thank you. Item number 17, discuss and act on a resolution confirming the city manager's appointment of Michael Smith to serve as the Public Works Director. Mr. Path and Mr. Smith, come on up.
All right. Upon my arrival, the Public Works Director position was vacant, and so the predecessor left the position at December 2019. So I went to work trying to find a new Public Works Director. I've been acting as interim Public Works Director in that meantime there, so doing the best I can, trying to keep that going there. So we had about 9 applications. We interviewed 5 applicants. And so I'm pleased to present to you Michael M.A., he's called M.A. Smith. And so as my selection for the Director of Public Works, Mr. Smith is currently the CIP Superintendent in the Public Works Department. I am very impressed with this individual, both his experience as well as his character. He possesses the right combination of potential, experience, attitude, energy, professionalism, and civility that I want to see as a leader of the Public Works Departments. His knowledge from years as a private contractor, experience managing and overseeing construction and contractor crews, as well as the CIP department knowledge of water, wastewater, and other construction, as well as services within the city, will be very valuable in leading these departments, as well as working closely with the city engineer and directors of utilities. And so he's who I'd like to recommend to you tonight. And so entertaining questions or anything that you have for Mr. Smith or myself about the process or anything, so. Okay,
I had a couple of questions. Mr. Smith, you stepped to the microphone. I obviously want to support Mr. Pass's first pick, but I was completely on board with it, and then we had a discussion about your involvement with the Sherman Street project that, as I mentioned before, completely appalled me that city staff left this gaping hole with no protection in it, and it was a lawsuit risk. It was a risk to life and limb. And I just wanted to make sure that I wanted to know your extent of your involvement in that project, if you could tell me, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm guessing y'all can hear me okay on that. As with the hole in the road, when the involvement of that started, was with Mr. Path when he called me after you had spoke with him on a Wednesday night. I don't know the exact date, but we currently laid the water line through there. Well, I'll start from the beginning. We had an I&I there. Water and Sewer Department dug it up. We found a hole. We proceeded that we needed to relay the sewer line. So when they laid that old sewer line, they put the water main right on top of it. So the CIP department come in and we laid a new sewer line, water line down Sherman Street. And as far as the barricades and everything go, they were still up. The hole still belonged to the Water and Sewer Department. When CIP got their trench box in at the first part of June, we took over possession of the sewer hole. And at that point, we maintained it, we covered it up, fixed it, and started relaying the new sewer line to where we are now at 15th and Sherman.
My question was simply, I'd never seen such a hazard to life and limb in the entire time I'd been in Paris. And my question for I don't know how many days it stayed like that with no protection whatsoever. Were you personally aware that hazard existed? And if you did not know, then that's the answer. If you did know, then I'd like to know, what you did to fix it. Were you aware that hazard existed?
I was aware of the hole, yes, sir. But as far as the barricades being gone, no, sir, I was not aware of that.
The hole, obviously, you were aware of.
Yes, sir. The hole, no, sir.
The
minute I found out there was no barricades in, I rushed in that night and I got the hole secured. Because that's the last thing I want on my conscience is anybody getting hurt.
Because I was going to have a problem with your appointment if I knew for a fact that you had allowed such a major danger to the citizens of Paris to go unfixed. If you tell me publicly that you had no knowledge of it and that there were no barricades, and if you can tell me that you had no knowledge of it, then I'll support you.
Yes, sir. I can honestly tell you I had no knowledge of it, and when I found out, we rushed to get it put up.
Because to me, it would be a serious breach,
sir.
And it would be an unforgivable breach.
Yes,
really.
sir. I've lived in Paris my whole life. I've supported this city.
As I have.
That's the last thing I need is anybody getting hurt. I mean, I just don't want it on my conscience
anyway. I don't want anybody hurt,
anyway.
and I don't want a lawsuit in that order. Okay.
Yes, sir.
But that's okay. I'm happy, but I had to ask that question, and I apologize.
I completely understand.
But okay, that's all I had to say. Anybody else have any questions?
I'm in full support.
I thank you.
And we're city is looking for you to lead us in the path on keeping up our stuff and helping Grayson out, and look forward to seeing you do your job. Appreciate you.
All right, thank you, sir.
Well, we've recently gotten Mr. Path on board. This council was unanimous in putting our faith in him and our trust, and that's what I'm doing. He's not throwing you under the bus, and I certainly hope you wouldn't throw him under the bus by doing anything in your position that would hurt his trust.
No, ma'am. We'll do everything we can to make everything go smooth.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I hope that your hands-on public director's work, with that incident with that one, you weren't aware of the barriers not there, but do know we'll hold you accountable.
Yes, ma'am.
This day forward.
Yes, ma'am. I understand.
And we trust Mr. Pat's judgment on picking you. He said good words about you, so we're looking forward to working with you.
Me for y'all. Thank y'all.
Any other comments or questions? All right.
I make a motion to confirm the city manager's appointment of Michael Smith to serve as the new Public Works Director.
Second.
All in favor? Okay. Congratulations. Welcome.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
Item number 18 discuss and act on an ordinance authorizing the issuance of a solid waste collection permit to MJ Outdoors LLC.
This company is relatively a new company, but the owners are not new to Paris. They've been around for about 13 years, have multiple companies. They actually, it's a co-parent of ServPro, which goes in and rips out property that's been flooded and things like that. They wanted to start this company so they could haul their waste. So I'm asking that you approve the ordinance.
Okay, any questions? All right, I'll make a motion. Well, you have a question? Go ahead.
No, I was
Okay.
going to make the motion.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we authorize the issuance of a solid waste collection permit to MJ Outdoors LLC.
Second, all in favor? Okay. And item number 19, discuss and make appointments to the existing vacancies on the following boards: Band Commission, Building and Standards Commission, Historic Preservation Commission, Library Advisory Board, Main Street Advisory Board, and Board of Adjustments. We had several vacancies that were not filled.
Yes,
You want
sir.
to tell us the status of these, and probably some of them we just vote on real quickly.
Yes, there's only two that where we have more than one applicant. The first one is the Band Commission. We have one vacant position and one applicant. That's Byron Myrick.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we appoint Byron Myrick to the Band Commission.
Second.
All in favor? Yep.
Okay.
All right, that one's done. What's the next one?
I'm trying to get over here. Okay, the next one is Building and Standards. We have one vacant position. We have two applicants, Carlton Cooper and Michael Fulmer.
Okay, and why don't we just, if you're in favor of the first one, raise your hand. If you're in favor to the second one, raise your hand. If we have a tie, we'll see what we need to do after that. So, does that sound good?
Say which ones again. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
the first, we have Carl.
I
know Carlton Cooper.
Is either of them here?
Yes, Mr. Cooper's here.
Mr. Cooper, could you come up? Would you like to address the council?
Good evening. I'd just like to say I'm Carlton Cooper. I'm from Paris, Texas, born and raised. I've moved back about a year and a half ago, and I'm very interested in being involved in promoting our city. And we talk a lot about I love Paris and beautifying Paris, and I want to be a part of making that happen. And when I look around, I just see that, a lot of things we can do and do better, and I want to be a part of making those things happen. And bridging the gap, bringing people together, but also overall bringing our city together. So we'll be a lot more attractive to people on the outside, new businesses, new people, and some of the things we talked about today, bringing more events into Paris. And I think all those things will show the love and the beauty of what Paris, Texas, and Lamar County is all about.
All right. So, all right, thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
Any questions?
Yeah, any questions
about
Mr.
me?
Cooper? I've had several conversations with Mr. Cooper and gotten to know him at least briefly, and certainly I plan on supporting him.
Well, your application impressed me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Your interest.
Why don't we just want to make a motion? I mean, again, the council can set the rules, but I can make a motion to accept him and see if it passes, and if it doesn't, we could look at the second one, okay? So I'll make a motion to appoint Mr. Cooper to the Building and Standards Commission.
Second.
All in favor? Okay, so thank you, sir.
Thank you all.
Look forward to working with you. All right, what do we have left?
Says we have one applicant on historic preservation.
Yes, one application
One
and
applicant and one vacant position, so that's easy.
I'll make a motion to appoint Mr. Timothy Alexander, to the single vacancy on the Historic Preservation Commission.
Second. All in favor? All right. In the Library Advisory Board, we have two vacancies and two applicants, so that one's pretty easy. I make a motion that we place Eva Dickey and Lauren Matthews on the Library Advisory Board.
Second.
All in favor?
Okay.
We
Got
got,
one more. We need to take Mr. Alexander off.
got to take Mr. Alexander off, so we've got two applicants.
We have
Are either of those applicants, John Brazil and Tyrone Hayden, are either of those applicants here?
Do not think so.
Okay, so how do we want to proceed with this? Do we want to nominate and?
I'll nominate Tyrone Hayden. I know him.
Okay.
He's been a real model citizen in the city. He's been on his job probably since he was 16, and he's general manager of the Sonic. So.
Okay. Do we want to nominate the other person?
I'd nominate John Brazil. I was on Main Street Advisory as liaison for my first year and a half. And Mr. Brazil, I thought, did an excellent job. Don't know Mr. Hayden. I'm sure he's fine as well. But I think Mr. Brazil he's been on there before, and I'd like to see him go back.
Okay. All right. Those in favor of Tyrone Hayden, raise your hand. Okay. And he's on. That it?
That's it. We still have a vacancy on the Traffic Commission and Board of Adjustment, so if you all know anyone, please have them contact me.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Ellis.
Okay.
Discuss applicants for City Council District 3 vacancy and schedule a special meeting in order to conduct interviews. So we have 2 applicants.
Yes, we do, and I think you all initially had asked that we schedule a special meeting for next week when Linda would be back, and both of these gentlemen are aware of that. It's my understanding the council chambers are available for Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday of next week. You can't hear me, I'm sorry. It's my understanding that the council chambers are available for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week, if you all wanted to schedule a special meeting to interview them.
Okay, what day will we have the full council?
I'm not going to be here Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday of next week.
Okay.
I don't know when Linda's coming back.
I don't think she'll be back until the following Monday, but I can double check that. If she's not going to be, do y'all want to schedule them for the same night of your regular meeting or a day or two
If
after?
everybody's going to be here, that would probably be preferable.
Your next
And
regular
then
meeting?
everybody then we could seat the council member, we could have a discussion, and then we could seat the council member the same.
Okay.
I assume we could seat them the same day.
Okay, I can let them know, I can let them both know
And
that
for the
tomorrow.
record, the 2 applicants are Casey Jordan and Gary Savage.
And that's July the 27th. Thank you.
Thank you. 21, future events. I'll remind everybody, the Paris Municipal Band has an abbreviated season. We'll have our 3rd and final concert Wednesday night at 8 o'clock at the Pavilion. We are practicing thanks to the Civic Center. They've allowed us to spread out, massively spread out for safety's sake while we practice. And we're also having concerts socially distanced. We hated to break up the record. This will be the 97th year that the Paris Municipal Band has been in existence, and we're proud of that. So we didn't want to lose that streak. So only 3 concerts, so our final concert will be this coming Friday night at 8. So come by and listen. We have a limited number of people, 1 person per part. Typically, we have about 27 people up there. Usually, previous years we'd have 70 plus. I mean, a lot of people. So it's an interesting band, but it is very historic. So I'll encourage people to come see that. Any other future business? Motion for adjournment.
Motion for adjournment?